Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Blaster, blasting you with the truth. I know y'all don't want it a lot of time. It's 2021. People, we about to enter a dark age. All you got to do is look at the people who are worshiped and glorified and look at their beliefs. The Most High ain't going to sit around and allow people to get the glory that should be coming to him, because none of us would be here if it wasn't for him. But some people are ungrateful and they act as if they created themselves or they was born from rocks. But I digress, and I want to get back on the subject, which is my thoughts on the Capitol riots. My thoughts on the Capitol riots. Me personally, it looked extremely staged. I tell y'all all the time, the first time I watched it, I fell asleep on it. Excuse me, yeah. Windows getting foggy. But the movie Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman, it's a must-see for any red pillar. You have to watch Wag the Dog. You have to pay. If you got to go to YouTube, if you got to go to the PlayStation store, whatever you got to do. The first time I watched it, I was falling asleep on it. Then I watched it again and was like, wow. Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. These are the things that we see all the time. Crisis actors. For what? What's the agenda? Slavery for all men next time. Next time it just ain't gonna be just African people of African descent. It's gonna be all men. And so all of this is painting a picture. See, the United States, the world does not want the United States to be exclusive anymore. And that's why Biden was the world's choice. To bring back censorship, to take away freedom of speech. And it's amazing how they're trying to go to the amendments for their agenda, but they're against the Constitution. Because anytime you censor speech, it's unconstitutional. And I want y'all to know, and again, I may not post on Facebook, but I may post these videos. I might not post an actual post like I used to do, but I'm going to post these videos because I got some people on my Facebook that I grew up with that they just don't understand. And they don't know what they did. Here's the thing. All of your rights, most of your basic rights come through the Civil Rights Act of 1967 and the Constitution. Now, when you vote liberal, when you vote for socialism, when you vote for communism, you are putting yourself at risk and all your freedoms at risk. So if you get rid of the Constitution, which they actually can now, thanks to their clever actions, I'm gonna say, in regards to the vote. See, Trump had to get out the way because Trump is a nationalist, and that don't fit the agenda. That don't fit the agenda. If you read the book of Revelation, it talks about slaves being in the last days. The Constitution abolished slavery. But you get rid of the Constitution, you can bring back slavery. You get rid of the Constitution, you can make arms, the right to bear arms, illegal. Give yourself a pat on the back because you hated Trump so much that you put your freedoms at risk. Because you can't have a gun, you don't want nobody to have one. Some of you felons, you hated Trump so much that you put your freedoms at risk. And just because your kids go to public school, you think mine should too. You say, well, you went to public school. It's not the same. Not the same. If I fought And I had many fights through my school years. Most of my fights, and matter of fact, all of my fights were one-on-one. They were one-on-one. It wasn't, never got jumped. All of my fights were one-on-one. Now, it's like a kid with a bunch of friends will target a kid that may be an introvert, may be socially awkward, trying to take his phone, take his money, do this, do that. And his weak wolfpack punk friends will help him do it. And it happens all the time in public school. Who would want their kids in public school when a lot of kids commit suicide because of public school? But, again, pat yourself on the back. Hurrah, hurrah. Clearly, you embrace being poor. You hate rich people. A lot of y'all, another reason why you voted, you say, Republicans for the rich. You voted because you don't like Republicans because you say they're for the rich. Okay. Well, again, you put your freedoms at risk. And the Capitol riots, you say, well, Trump did that. Trump put them up to that. If you see his reaction, you know that he didn't put them people up to that. Just by his reaction. Now, he has many supporters that may have been planning that, or it may be staged. Those could be crisis actors. Those could be people that, again, because you ever notice how anytime the Democrats are trying to get anything done, there's a war, there's a rumor of a war, there is some type of terrorist attack, there is some type of pandemic. Always something happens when they want something to happen. Because that's their way. Sling mud before and sling mud after something happens. They did it to Bush. They did it to Trump. With Bush, it was his response to 9/11. My thoughts were it looked extremely suspect. Because if the military can find guys in a cave, you telling me they can't stop a raid on Capitol Hill? Come on now. Come on. Wake up! You people are you're being made the enemy against the ally. You're being programmed to be an enemy against those who you should be allies with by those who are the actual enemies. But anyway, I'm going to say too much on here, So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe.